At first it was just a hunch, but now we know what the numbers look like, and Final Fantasy is going to cost you a fortune. Ever since Wizards of the Coast tried to do this with 30th anniversary product, they've pushed the numbers. And they've tried to see just how far the players of Magic the Gathering are willing to spend to get a premium product. And with Final Fantasy, we're going to find out. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thank you again for hanging out with me on my channel today. Now, there's quite a bit to discuss in today's video, but it's going to focus around the financial meanings of some of the numbers we are seeing coming for Final Fantasy. A lot of these things came out on Twitch live stream, Magic the Gathering. I'll put that in the comment section so you guys can see it in the description in case you want to go back and watch that video. But when you start looking around the web, we started seeing prices popping up and being taken down all over the web. I did manage to capture some of these prices and put them up for you guys in today's video to give you kind of a grasp of what we're looking at. But before we get to those images, before I start showing you the numbers, let's talk about a couple of things here. We know since 30th anniversary didn't work for them and it was just universally rejected, they've had to backpedal a lot. We've had products like Modern Horizons 3, which had collector boxes at a premium price. We've had things like Double Flip Trip Masters. I got that box right here. Remember, 4 packs? This was still a really expensive collector box, wasn't it? Shiny, expensive, got some great cards inside there, and players accepted it. So we have the history of a few things being accepted and a few things being rejected. And what's going to make this a little bit more unique is that this is going to be a standard product. So that means the cards in the collector box will either be commander cards from the commander decks, or we're going to see standard cards. Maybe some cool framed artwork, serialized signed cards, I don't care. They are going to be in standard. So that means these prices for these products you think would be closer to what we are normally paying. I knew it would be upticked in price. I said they had to make up that IP, loaning out the IP money. The contract would say they had to make so much money, and this is where they were going to make their money. It was going to be here and probably inside the commander decks. So I have the numbers looking at this, and it is kind of shocking. So let's get to that. Let's share with you guys exactly what you are looking at. So this image is taken from bestbuy.com, okay, in the States. Now, you can see here we have the collector box, which is what I want to focus on. It is $429.99 US. Now, the scary thing for those US amazing people out there, if you're in Canada, we've got to pay 40 cents on the dollar, and then we have to pay like an import tax. So for here in Canada, this is going to run close to $700 if this price holds true. It'll be around $670 to $690. I think most LGSs will see what happens, but if you just took this number I'm showing you on the screen, converted it, that's what it's going to cost you with the import fees, the local taxes at around 13%, as well as the exchange rate. It's a really scary number to get this box, okay? And then, of course, we have the Play Booster box you can see there, and that's $184.99, which puts it over $200. So, again, even as a 30, pack box, it is actually more expensive. And that's where I find it very interesting. I didn't think they would really jack up the price of a Play Booster box, but they did. So I thought they wouldn't be able to do it because it wouldn't make a standardized pricing for people playing standard. They don't care. It looks like this is what they're doing. Because in Canada, this box, like $184, is what we would pay in Canada right now for a 30-pack box. That's what we're paying Canadian. That's not going to be the case with this box. So I want to see what people say in the comments section about this. It's going to be very interesting. And it really shows you that price disparity in some of the products they've released. But the question I'll have is, are the players going to accept it? How well is this box going to be received? Don't forget, we've had things like Lord of the Rings. Now, I'm not putting Final Fantasy on the same pedestal as Lord of the Rings in terms of longevity, life, and all that, but it's been around for decades. It's a very popular series. It is going to have fans and detractors. It is going to do well. And in some cases, I already know a lot of the commander decks sold out. People who popped their stuff up got inundated with sales, and it already got ripped down. So be aware of that as well, because if we take a look at the commander decks, okay? Take a look at this. So here we are looking at the Final Fantasy Commander decks. There are 4 of them, each one retailing for $69.99. You can get all 4 for $279.96. And if you were here in Canada and you bought all 4 with the conversion and taxes and stuff, it's going to be around $440 Canadian. Now that puts it on par with other Commander decks of a premium type, which means you're looking at Fallout, Warhammer 40K level, okay? Those IPs are kind of in the same bracket price range. So those ones don't look like they're having much of a discrepancy from where I expected to pay. And we know that the sales already are really strong, so there's no reason in hiding it. If you're a patient person though, will these dip in price is the question. And yes, we've seen certain ones dip, but never the good one. Remember, there'll be a good one. There'll be one that's better than the rest that everyone tries to get their hands on. The closer we get, the more we see the spoilers. So you guys out there will have to decide for yourselves which way you want to go for those. But that collector box, that is just another beast, because people are asking me why we're seeing so much Final Fantasy when we haven't seen really anything for Dragons of Tarkir. Now, let's just jump back here. Let me show you the release schedule again. We have Aether Drift, which is tanking. It's doing really badly. Will it recover? Who knows? Right now, doing very badly. They've jumped over to June, and they've showed us Final Fantasy, and we've only got a little hint of what's going on with Tarkir Dragonstorm. Well, let's not forget, and let's not hide the fact that this is a premium product, and the PR campaign for a product like this is going to be a lot longer. They got to make sure they get the pre-orders in. They got to get the stuff to distribution, and they have to know that they've sold a certain amount of units. They want to get that in for their quarterly reports, get it in so they can put all this stuff together when it goes before their board when they do their financial audits, okay? They need to know these numbers. And they got to push it because they probably have contracts in place for the Final Fantasy license to probably guarantee some income back to them, just like Hasbro does when they license out Transformers, the images and stuff, to like places to make, cheap knockoff toys that are still considered Transformers, licensed by Hasbro, right? So when you see those things, it's just an exchange of an IP for money. That's what it is. But they probably have to guarantee a certain amount. Final Fantasy is a big IP. It's been around a long time, and it's a great way for them to cash in some cash, okay? Cash in some cash, forget it. It's too late to go back now. So when we look at something like Tarkir Dragonstorm, they're not forgetting about it, but they own everything about it. They own everything. And generally speaking, these kind of sets don't need much hyping. Honestly, they're going to do fine. Whereas Final Fantasy, they got to get some money through the gates. They know that they've had problems with pre-orders before, and they know stores have complained saying they can't carry the costs. And a product like this that's going to cost this much money, especially for those collector boxes, they need time. They need time to get the sales in, to make sure people have had time to put this stuff in. Now, can that take away from Tarkir Dragonstorm? Absolutely it can. There's been a running gag for years that Wizards of the Coast cannibalizes their own products by putting too many out too fast. That is partly true, but not entirely true. Those products are still going to be around. Any cards that are popular and go up in price, they get to rehash those into premium products and cash in later on. But by keeping this pace of churn and burn going, they as a company keep us interested in this ever-evolving game that is Magic the Gathering. Now, leaving aside the point that Final Fantasy is going to be expensive for those collector boxes, and Wizards of the Coast will want to cash in on those. When we look at Tarkir Dragonstorm, because it's not an IP owned by another company, they don't have to charge as much. So those collector boxes should be a normal price. It shouldn't come as a sticker shock to players. So anyone who's interested in that product is still going to buy it. Anyone who's surprised by cards inside Dragonstorm, it's just going to add extra excitement. They don't have to do as much legwork with an IP they own versus an IP that they probably have financial obligations to the other company. Either way, it's going to be exciting to see how it all plays out. Tarkir Dragonstorm, we got 3 months. We got, 5 months until we get to our amazing Final Fantasy, which again, I still like the artwork, still love the look of everything. The collector boxes seem expensive, just like I thought they would. A little intimidating when I see that price tag attached to them, but maybe that's the new norm if we're players who are accepting the changing prices. Remember, I showed you guys Double Flip Trip Masters, Modern Horizons 3. We've seen how these prices have gone as they push those upper limits and get your mind just kind of acclimated to the new pricing. Now, it's not a 30th anniversary level, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be. They just have to have that money flowing in at a slightly higher rate and push the boundaries each and every year. Hobbies can cost a lot of money. This game looks like it's going to be awesome this year, and I'm pretty excited to see how it all plays out. You guys let me know what you think. Drop some comments in the comments section. Are you interested in those collector boxes? Can you help yourself? Or are you going to go the single route? Are you going to boycott everything? These are things I need to know. These are the informational topics that we need to talk about here on the channel. Thanks again for stopping by my channel. I hope you guys had a good time here today. I hope you got some new information you didn't know, or maybe a new perspective on what's going on out there. Either way, it's a great time to talk about Magic the Gathering. Great new cards coming to light, and we're looking forward to playing with them sooner rather than later. Have a great day, and don't forget, bring a friend to Magic. Hey guys, you made it to the end of the video. I hope you stick around for today's Ramble Jamble. We got a little bit of something extra to share with you from my buddy Ventric. He had a bit of a mishap there with Canada Post, and I wanted to share it with you because he shared it with me and he said it was okay. So thanks again for being here. Thanks for being supporters of the channel, and I hope you guys enjoy this little bit of a video clip with a bit of a warning attached to it.
Alright, so I received this package today from 401 Games. It's in this envelope. Apology from Canada Post Corporation. We sincerely regret that your mail is damaged. It was found in this condition in the mail stream. It looks like it's been opened from the top here. I haven't checked inside to see what's inside yet, but see, it's to me, from 401 Games. Tracked, expedited parcel. Open this up. See what's inside. Looks like the order is still there. Whether all the cards are there that should be or not, we shall see. But even this plastic looks like it was opened. Thankfully, it looks like everything is in there. I guess someone opened it to see what was inside and decided that these cards weren't worth anything to them. Thankfully. That's kind of crazy, because even this was ripped open. So yeah, somebody at Canada Post decided to open my mail and realize that Magic cards were not for them. Good for me.
Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble. Did you see that? We've had this happen before. We've talked about it here on the channel, where you have somebody working at the post office who is aware of the value of some of these things. Now, maybe they're looking for hockey cards. Maybe they're looking for Pokemon. I don't know. Maybe they didn't like Magic the Gathering that day, or maybe those cards they didn't consider valuable enough when they looked them up before putting them aside and saying, look, it's a damaged package. But the fact the cards inside were spliced open, the package was spliced open, something's going on, and that's pretty bad. So Canada Post, get your act together. Guys, be aware of this stuff. It never hurts to record when you get packages to make sure if it looks like they've been tampered with, you might want to record everything just like Ventric did. Guys, thanks again for hanging out. Thanks for being here. And Ventrix, thanks again for sharing that awesome video. Scary stuff to think. Imagine you had like a $10,000 card in there or something. Like, I know, so crazy. Anyway, thanks again for stopping by, guys. Have a great one. Ramble Jamble. That's scary.